These are 15 lessons that I had to learn the hard way over 20 years of being in the real estate business that, quite frankly, this is going to make a lot of people upset. Why? Because a lot of people that don't want you to know this information, well, too bad. I'm going to tell it to you guys anyways. And so there's going to be people who watch this that it really, really, really pisses off. But you know what? So what? I believe you deserve to know the truth, and you don't have to go through 20 years of mistakes. I'm going to share with you the truth and what has been my experience over the past 2 decades of being in the real estate industry so that you can fast track your success. Number one, this is going to piss people off right here. You do not have to work nights and weekends. So many people that get into the real estate business are told, well, listen, if you're going to succeed, you're going to have to work when other people aren't. And that is simply not true. You see, the reality is the reason why the industry is like that, the reason why most agents do work nights and weekends is because the truth is most real estate agents are broke. Most real estate agents don't make very much money, and they are desperate and needy, and they're willing to do anything for a commission check. So that's why it's this stigma that real estate agents work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's because they're so needy for money that they're willing to do things that you don't see other professionals in other industries do. And so you can absolutely work off of a schedule that fits your lifestyle based on your business model. You do not have to chase clients around. In fact, what I have learned is that the better boundaries you set with your clients, the actual more your clients respect you. And the exact opposite of that is also true. That if you set no boundaries, you will be walked all over, and your clients will have zero respect for you. In fact, you'll do it in a way where you start to resent your client, maybe even resent the industry, and even cause you to leave the business. And so no other professionals act or behave the way that realtors do. There's nothing set in stone that says you have to work until 9, 10 o'clock at night, and do not fall for, well, that's just amazing client service. Don't fall for that. The only reason people behave that way is because they are attached to the commission. They only want the money. And so they're willing to do that for the commission. It has nothing to do with anything other than their neediness, their greed for money. Number 2, real estate is a sales business. All right, I said it. Now, I put a poll out on the YouTube channel and my Instagram page, and it baffles me. It baffles me how many real estate agents either A, don't know this is a real estate, that this is a sales business, B, aren't willing to admit it, or C, refuse to accept that it is. It's incredible to me. First off, look at your real estate license. What does it say on your real estate license? It says real estate salesperson's license. Now, furthermore, you are in a service-based business where you have lots of competition, and all of these people are vying for the same clients you are. And based on your ability to sell yourself as a potential partner with a buyer or a seller to help them through one of the most difficult moments in their life, either buying or selling a house, you better bet your rear end that you're selling your services. And if the prospect doesn't believe that you are the best agent for the job of selling their house, they're going to hire somebody else. That's why it's called interviewing agents. What do you think the consumer is doing? They're sitting down with a real estate agent, and they're interviewing agents to decide which agent is best to hire to sell their home. The same exact way they do when they go and get an insurance agent. The same way they go and meet with a financial planner. It's the exact same process. You are selling a service. Why so many agents don't understand this is because I understand sales has like this negative connotation to it. Yeah, sales for the person who does it wrong is an absolute creep, yeah, that's not what we're talking about. And if you sell in a way that is like this high pressure way that it was done in the past, yeah, that's probably not something to be proud of. And the reason why you hate selling so much, the word even selling to you probably makes you cringe, is for one reason. And that's because you want the person to buy. Your attachment to the outcome is the reason why you hate selling. And if you are detached from the outcome and you're actually more concerned with serving the prospect and not selling is not convincing. If you actually look at the word sell, it means to serve. So if you're actually serving people, you'd understand, wow, I'm actually proud to be a sales professional. But when people think about what it means to be a salesperson, they have this all kinds of head trash, all kinds of negativity. That's because you suck at selling. And because you think selling is convincing and pitching and persuading and influencing people and getting people to do things. That is not selling. And so we'll make another video about that. But make no mistake, you are in the sales business. Number 3, it is, in fact, not only is this a sales business, but it's the most difficult sales business to be in out of any other industry. Why? All right, so I've been in 3 different industries over my career. I was in the mortgage business, the insurance business, and the real estate business. The reason why real estate sales is so difficult is real simple. It's the fact that people only do it a handful of times their entire life. So if we look at that and we compare that to, let's just say insurance. Well, everybody who owns a home or everybody who owns a car is a prospect. Why? Because at any moment in time, you can communicate with that consumer and say, well, let me look at your policy to see if I can get you better coverages, save you money, and give you a better experience. Everybody's a prospect. Same thing in the mortgage business. Anybody who owns a home, who has a mortgage, I can simply call and say, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, let me do a mortgage review. Let me see what we can do to consolidate some of your bad debt. Let me see if I can increase cash flow. And then you can decide if working with me or moving forward with this makes any sense or not. And every single homeowner who has a mortgage is a prospect. It's not like that in real estate. It's so difficult to first find somebody who wants to move. That's why this is so hard. You have to find the people that want to move. It just doesn't happen that often. And so that requires a ton of proactive lead generation that you just don't have to do in any other industry. You don't have to do that in any other industry. Real estate, it requires you to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of conversations with prospects to finally find one who has the motivation, who's actually going to move. Number 4, real estate has the highest return on time out of any other industry. All right. So we talked about it being a sales business. We talked about it being the most difficult sales business, but in return, it is by far the highest return on your time out of any other sales industry that I know of. In other words, if you get really good at selling real estate, you can make more money in this industry than selling any other product or service. And again, that was my experience. I had a high-level business in the mortgage business. I built one of the largest insurance agencies in the country. And both of those combined don't compare to what I earned selling real estate. So you're in a great income vehicle, which is the great news. It's the highest paid return on your time for people that actually do the work. But at the same time, it's the lowest paid work for people that don't do the work. You'd be a lot better off just going to work at Home Depot, quite frankly, than selling real estate if you're not going to put in the work. Number 5, you don't need any formal education to be successful in this industry. None. I have no college education. I barely finished high school, and I've made over $10 million selling real estate over the last 20 years, and you don't need any formal education. You can go get your license. Most states, it's a 40 or 50 hour pre-licensing exam, and you're in business. And so that's the great thing about this is the formal education process that we've all maybe bought into as a society. It's not needed here. An informal education, which we'll talk about later, maybe has some benefits, but the formal education process brings no value to your ability to go out there and generate a successful real estate sales business. Number 6, there's no right way or wrong way to build a successful real estate business. So what do I mean by this? I don't know why people want to argue with me all the time that this is a better way to get clients than this way. What does it matter if you get clients through social media, paid advertising, buying leads, open houses, cold calling, referrals, door knocking? What does it matter? I don't know why people are so hung up on the tactic or the strategy. It's irrelevant. There's a bunch of different ways to go out there and build a successful real estate business. Don't ever have somebody say, this is the way. This is the only way to build a successful real estate business, because they are lying to you. There are real estate agents right now that make 7 figures doing open houses. There are agents right now making 7 figures through cold calling, through door knocking, through buying leads, through having a team, through having a brokerage, through referral partners, through agent referrals, through social media, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is no right way to do it. And yeah, somebody was arguing with me the other night on Instagram that their way was the best way and everything else was a waste of time. And that was the only way to build a successful business. It's not true. Don't listen to that. Number 7, interview your clients as much as your clients interview you. Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you that over the years, you in the beginning, everybody makes this mistake. You go into every listing appointment saying to yourself, okay, how can I get this business? How can I get the business? How can I get the business? And then you end up with the business to just later regret it. Why? Because most agents have what we call a list to list philosophy. In other words, they go into every client meeting saying, how can I get the business? I'll discount my commission to nothing. I'll take an overpriced listing. I'll work with any client under any circumstances, whether they're motivated or not. And through that experience, they learn, wow, I don't want to do that again. Working with these clients from hell, it's just not worth it. Taking a listing that is overpriced with a seller that is really unmotivated, that's a want to be seller, not a need to sell, is like the most stressful thing ever. And I can tell you through personal experience, it's the worst thing that you could do is take on clients that have no actual motivation to move, because you're going to be hung out to dry and you'll have to work your rear end off for free, both with buyers and sellers. So the lesson here is you deserve equal business status. Equal. In other words, you have just as much right to ask potential clients questions about their motivation as they do asking you questions about what you're going to do to help them accomplish their goal. It's equal. And you owe it to yourself, to your family, to your business, to your future clients that you take on clients based on questions you ask that will allow you to serve them at the highest level. And if you get this wrong and you end up just being desperate and you take on any client, you end up with the crumbs, you're going to be very stressed out and you're going to end up working a lot for very, very, very little. You are allowed to interview your client and their motivation and interview the property and its condition before you agree to take a listing. That's why we call it taking a listing, not getting a listing. That's because you have a decision in this. You have the right to say no when it's not a good fit. It's not all up to the prospect to determine whether or not they put you to work. You are not a mule. Okay. You are a professional. You have the right to say, I'm not going to work with this client, or I am going to work with this client. You have the right to say yes. You have the right to say no. Number 8, no one is going to save you. No one's going to save you. Your broker's not going to come save you. Other agents in the market aren't going to save you. You got to figure this thing out. You see, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, okay, I want to go be my own boss. I want to go have the freedom and the flexibility to be an entrepreneur. And then you end up in this business as a solopreneur and then play the victim. Oh, I don't get enough leads. And oh, she has it better, or they're in a better market, or you can't have it both ways. If you're going to be a solopreneur and you're going to be in this business of real estate sales, you have to be the one to show up for yourself. No one is going to do it for you. If you need somebody to do it for you, you're in the wrong business, my friend. I'm just shooting you straight. I'm being upfront with you. I'm being totally, brutally honest with you, which is what I think we are all owed. And so no one's coming for you. You have to put in the work. It's like, you've heard it 1,000 times. What you put in is what you get out. There's nothing more true than this business. No one owes you anything. Your friends don't owe you their business. Your family doesn't owe you their business. Just because you have a real estate license doesn't mean people owe you their business. You have to go out there and earn it. Number 9, the only secret to success in real estate is that there is no fucking secret to success in real estate. Stop searching. Stop obsessing over consuming every book and every course and every seminar and every webinar and every podcast and every YouTube video. I got to find it. I got to find it. I got to find it. There is no secret. I don't know how many times you have to hear it from successful agents when they say it's all about consistency. That's what you keep hearing over and over and over. Give up on your obsession with new information. Give it up. You already know what to do. It's time to actually do the thing. You got to do it. There's no magic pill. There's no secrets that people are keeping from you. There's none of that. You're not missing anything. The only thing you're missing is you actually doing it. All the information you have in your head, the only difference that's getting in your way from where you are right now to where you want to be is your unwillingness to put it into action on a consistent basis, day in, day out, forever. And I'm getting excited over this because that's the truth. Number 10, this business was built for self-starters. If you need structure and you need to be told what to do, real estate is not for you. Go get a job. That's just the truth. This business is for somebody who can, on their own, without having their hand held and babysat, it's time to get up for work, honey. If you need that, go get a job. This is not the industry for you. This is for somebody who is self-accountable, who has the motivation and the why to get up every day and get after it. If you need, these are the hours, here's exactly what you're going to do, this is when you do it, who you do it with, and this is when you leave, this is how much you're going to get paid, go get a job. This is too hard of an industry for somebody who is not a self-starter. Number 11, focus 100% on listings. I hear it every day from new agents that are being lied to by team leaders and brokers. You know, you got to come in and work with buyers first. Why? For what reason? Who says who do I have to go work with buyers? I don't have to do anything. I got in this business because I want to build a business and a lifestyle that I want. Listings will give you the lifestyle that you want. Listings will allow you to work a normal schedule. It will allow you to be off nights and weekends to spend with your people that you love. Focus on listings. That's where all the leverage is. You can work with a lot more seller listings than you can with buyers. It's the only way you can scale a huge income, have absolute control over your time. And these are the two things you wanted when you got into this business. Am I wrong? Did you get into this business for any other reasons except for having freedom of time and unlimited income? Was there any other reason? That's what you get when you focus on listings. If you are all buyer based, you already know this, it'll be the opposite. Your income will be limited and you'll be working 7 days a week. Number 12, having a great assistant will be the best investment you'll ever make in your business, by far. You see, at some point, if you're going to really scale your income in this business the way I think that you really want to, you've got to learn how to spend time on dollar productive activities and give up. I know we're all control freaks, so this is hard. You've got to give up the non-revenue generating activities to somebody else. You just have to give them up. You're in the sales business. You are the orthopedic surgeon. Your job is to be in surgery as much as you can. That's where the money is being made. You're not making any money calling insurance companies and taking temperatures and checking people at the front desk. That's not where the money is being made. But if you look at a real estate agent, instead of spending 80% of their time in money-making activities, they do the exact opposite. They spend 80 to 90% of their time on stuff that doesn't make them money. Building websites and playing around with their CRM and God knows what else. You get it. You've got to flip that around and say, okay, 80% of my day, if I'm going to work 10 hours today, 8 of the 10 hours has to be spent on one of two things. Either you're on an appointment presenting to acquire a new client, or you're looking for one. That's it. You need to spend 80% of your time in those two things. If you can, you will make amazing money. If you don't, you won't. Number 13, the consumer does business with the agent, not the brokerage. Okay? This is amazing that brokerages are still trying to bamboozle agents. They are still trying. I think they believe it themselves, quite frankly, that, oh, you're going to get more business. I had a broker tell me this once. I'm not even kidding. I was changing brokerages, and the brokerage says, well, your business is going to grow by 20, 30, 40% just by being with, they call it like this, the brand. I love when people call it the brand. Like it's like anybody cares if you're with Billy Bob's Real Estate or Jill Smith's Real Estate. The consumer has no idea, number one, who you were with. And I prove this to myself because I believe this as a new agent. I was at a big box brokerage. And then I went independent and I launched my own independent firm. And guess what? None of my clients cared. And none of my clients even knew what company I was with before because we interviewed them all. We went back to my past clients, my assistant and I, and said, hey, just out of curiosity, do you know which company Brandon's with and what brand he represents? And most of them had no idea. They were doing business with me. It doesn't matter what company is on your name badge. Don't let a company try to take money away from you saying, well, we're going to build your business because of the brand. The consumer doesn't care what company you're with, I promise. Number 14, investing in a coach will be a lot less than giving up 50% to a team or a broker, and you'll make more money. Why? Okay, let's talk about what we're talking about here. First off, it only makes sense that A, the investment into yourself is always into high income skills is a investment that will pay you for the rest of your life. And so investing in high income skills from somebody who has already done what you want to do makes a lot more sense than giving up half of your commission to someone or something or a company who hasn't. Did you hear me? Investing in someone who has already done what you want to do and have them show you how will be one of the best investments you'll ever make. It cuts down the learning curve. Hormozy calls it the ignorance tax. And it's so true. If you're making $50,000 a year right now, and your goal is to make $250,000 a year, and you can pay somebody $5,000, and as a result, in 12 months, you're making $250,000 a year versus not doing that, and it takes you 20 years to earn $250,000, what was more expensive? What actually costs you more money? The 20 years of not making $250,000 a year versus investing in yourself and hiring somebody who's already done it makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense than giving up 50% to a team or a brokerage who's not going to teach you how to do it, who's going to take your money, who hasn't done what you've done. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some amazing team leaders out there. There are some amazing brokers out there. Just most aren't. Plain flat out, this video is about the truth. I told you it's going to piss people off. Most brokers, makes all the sense in the world. Most brokers haven't succeeded at the level that I think you want to succeed in selling real estate. Otherwise, listen, they'd be doing it. You don't make, and we're going to talk about this next. You do not make the money in managing realtors at a real estate office. You make way more money selling houses. So why in the world would somebody give up that income for a lot less money? That's because they couldn't do it. That's why they're in a salaried position as a broker manager managing the office. It's because would it make any sense for them to do that if they're making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year selling houses? Why in the world would they give up all of that to go and be an office manager for $50,000 a year? That's because they haven't succeeded. So why would it make sense for you to sign up to go work for this broker who says, yep, we're going to put you on a 50-50 split. We'll take half of what you owe or half of what you make. And then themselves not have the ability to teach you how to scale your business. It just makes no sense to me. Number 15, don't be bamboozled. Okay. The only way to make real money in this business is by selling lots of houses. Okay. Now, this is going to piss a lot of people off too. It's okay. You deserve the truth. The people that this makes upset, they can deal with it. Okay. They just don't like it because they don't like when the truth comes out. All this stuff is coming out and distracting you from keeping the main thing the main thing. Stay close to the revenue. Stop being bamboozled with this opportunity and that opportunity and building a team and running a brokerage or opening this market center for these people and rev share. Oh, that's the big one, right? Just go recruit and build your downline and your passive income, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The money is made in selling real estate. That's what we do. That's what we do. And so many agents are trying to figure out a way, how do I make money in real estate without being in real estate? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, real estate's hard. We already talked about that. But don't be bamboozled for 1 second to think that there's a better income vehicle outside of actually selling real estate. The people who are selling you on that are doing so because you don't know any better. So you're being sold the dream when in reality, I see it time and time again. I work with these people who get distracted. They get out of personal production. They go and take this position with XYZ company to go open a new branch. And it's like, wow, what a nightmare that was. It just took me 3.5 years out of production to go build and open this office for this company, to go and recruit agents and build the office. And dude, I went from making $300,000-$400,000 a year to earning peanuts to go build the dream. And you're going to get ownership and blah, 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 blah. Stay focused. Keep the main thing the main thing. Stay close to production. Leverage that business through administrative staff so you can stay even closer to the production, closer to the money, and you'll be happy you did.